Last time I checked it, we had almost 200,000 users, and I think StrategyQuant is way ahead in many important areas.
Regarding the use of the data, I think it's a very tough question. I mean, we would definitely need to take AI into account, but there might be some issues with privacy and ownership, like Mara said, and I completely agree with that. I'm more thinking of AI implementation in the form, for example, for seasonality, earnings models, or using AI basically as a filter for some fundamental news and so on.
So as we are developing this project for probably for 2 years, and we are making the long list of those, like say those uncommon situations. For example, the simple rule: if the ranking will be always 1, which might happen, the indicator will return always 1.
I think competition is good for customers and not good for us as a company. It would be best for us if we have a monopoly on everything, but I'm a believer in free market, and competition is what drives quality up. We are the best.
StrategyQuant X is a data mining package. You can use it to build your own algorithmic strategies on autopilot based on your instructions. I've been using it for the past 3.5 years, and since then I wanted to interview the team behind it, and finally we made it happen. Here is the interview, and I hope you enjoy it.
Okay, so my name is Mark Fric. I am the founder of StrategyQuant, and to say something about the history, I started StrategyQuant in 2011, and the name was at the time was Genetic Builder, not StrategyQuant. The reason I started it was I was actively trading at the time, and I was always more interested in the programming side of the trading, not the actual trading. And I read about the idea of getting strategies generated by the computer in some forum, and I thought that I would do it for my own use. And when I had it, I decided to simply try to offer it online to see if there is interest in this kind of tool. So I created a website and started to sell it, and this is the start of StrategyQuant.
So you were a programmer since the start?
Oh yes, I studied computer science. I was a programmer. I was working as a programmer before, and later as a IT consultant. As I said, I was always interested in the programming side of the things.
When did you think, or when did the other programmers join in? When did you start to need help, or did you get a bunch of programmers from the beginning?
It started slowly. I was just myself alone at the beginning, and I got the first programmer, I think, in the first year, sometimes around the first year. Then I got one person for support first year, and we slowly grew from that.
So I guess that brings us to Kornel. When did you, Kornel, join?
I actually don't know exact year. It's quite long ago. I think it's about 7 years. And firstly, I started as a support member, answering the tickets. But step by step, as company grow, I grow up also, and so right now I'm more focused on strategy development, and particularly on the newest project, which is this Algo Cloud. So this is like what I'm spending the most of time now.
Is Algo Cloud also written in Java or in different language?
Yeah, it is written in TypeScript, in JavaScript.
I understand Java is good, like a cross-platform language, but since this is hosted in the cloud, is there like a benefit from having still Java, or just to be compatible with SQX?
Well, as you say, it is in a cloud, and there is some advantage to using JavaScript, not Java, not pure Java. It can be written also in pure Java, but it comes with some disadvantages that we didn't want to have. So we did it in a different language for the cloud. I mean,
that will bring us to Jan. Jan you are in the marketing.
Basically, I will just slightly correct you, not only marketing, but also
Sorry.
in, let's say, business development of things, which is a very, very tough and very challenging. A few words regarding myself. If I remember correctly, I joined the company in 2016, so in similar time as Kornel. And so it's been more than 6 years so far. And well, I can say that since then the company grew very, very, very rapidly. We welcomed new colleagues. We established a lot of business partnerships around the globe, including your. We basically entered new markets and released new StrategyQuant X. And now I'm really looking forward to launch the Algo Cloud, which we will for sure discuss more in detail within this meeting. Yeah, so I can say it was a hell of a ride, but I sense that a lot of potential down the road.
Yeah, the ups and downs of software development. I've lived through that about 10 years ago, and it's not nice. Which I guess, Mark, did you imagine that your company will reach this stage? Like this was the goal from the beginning, or are you surprised by the growth of StrategyQuant X?
Well, yeah, I was not expecting anything really. I was just looking forward to see where it goes, where it will, and I'm still looking forward where it goes, because this is not the end for us. We are just, I would say, we are in the beginning still. So I'm really glad. I appreciate many users that use our products and they are satisfied with it. But I would like to grow more still.
So this growth brought you many users. Can you share with us the size of your company, the size of your user base?
Company is about 20 people now, which consists of like 9 programmers, 4 people for support, 3 strategy developers, 3 people for marketing and business development. And as for users, we have, I think last time I checked it, we had almost 200,000 users, people who at least once used one of our products, either paid or free. And not all of them are using the software all the time. But we have about a few thousand of paying StrategyQuant users, or people who bought the license. Then there's a big group of people who use our free products.
And you sell your software globally. So
Yes, we are a global company.
where do you say the biggest user base?
US by far. Then we have strong presence in European countries, obviously ours, the Czech Republic, but Italy is pretty big in terms of customer base, Germany, and I'm very happy to say that Spain is very getting a lot of pace recently. And also, I would like to add that we are pretty strong in Asian countries, thanks to our business partners, for example, in Singapore, in Taiwan. And like I said, I'm pretty happy that we are rapidly growing in Spain and Latin America in general, and also in the Middle East countries, which is very interesting. But this is primarily thanks to our very dedicated partners, who are really contributing with very valuable educational content in Spanish or Arabic, respectively. And also the thing I would like to add is that we are seeing a great progress in Brazil, where we are setting up a partnership with very experienced and dedicated team of professionals. And this step also obviously requires a lot of adjustments needed to be done on our side of StrategyQuant as a software, especially in regards to support of, for example, local market data, because we need to, obviously have support for the local markets, local indices, dollar index, and so on. So yeah, this is very challenging, honestly. But hopefully we will deal with this, and we will get started there pretty soon.
Obviously, big growth is very nice for a business, but also comes with its own challenges. And I'm sure, just like you said, you have hundreds of thousands of users. That's really hard to support and answer questions and attend to requested features. It's what would you say, or from your data, what is the hardest thing for users to use your software? What is the most sticking points that comes up most of the time that you see?
It probably depends on the type of user, but I would say from what I experience, one of the biggest challenges is or biggest complaints or biggest problems that we need to solve is that users sometimes don't get the same results in the StrategyQuant and their target trading platform, MetaTrader or TradeStation or multi-charts. Usually, this is just an incorrect setup, something different setup in StrategyQuant compared to the trading platform. But this is something that every new user has to really be careful of and make sure that his data or his strategies match in the StrategyQuant and his target platform.
This is a problem. Of course, I face this also. It's because you're always trying to interpret the other engines and how they do their thing on your engine, and of course they are using different data provider. I say this to all my community all the time, that this is never going to end unless, of course, the route you took, which it's a great thing, because that was I think the first time I talked with Jan, we discussed this, is the best thing to do is that you take your own strategy and your engine and connect to your own broker or to a partner broker, which you went through that route in Algo Cloud, which we'll discuss later. So I think that's the solution for this problem. Other than that, what do you think the most requested features from your user base globally? Is there a common theme that they want?
I don't really think there is some feature or top 3 features that are most requested. I don't recall anything like this. Every person wants something else, and depending on his level and expertise, they want either something simpler or something more advanced. And everybody thinks his own future is the most important and most like critical. So we have to also prioritize, because these resources are limited, of course. We cannot do everything, and we cannot just make the software extremely complex to add everything. So we need to prioritize to make it simple and easy to use.
Like you mentioned, you started this 10, 11 years ago, and you started to program things, to do things for you. Now you're running huge company, huge user base. Do you still trade? Do you have time actually to trade?
Not really, because as you said, I'm running a company, and I have to do a lot of things. So I'm not really trading. I started when my trading journey started with futures. Actually, maybe one of the hardest instruments or assets, with the intraday trading of futures, which means sitting in front of the computer for a few days when market is open and trading 15-minute charts or 5-minute charts. So this is what I started with, and I definitely don't have time for this, and I don't have the patience for this anymore. Right now, I'm committed to algo trading. So I am trading only algorithmically. I'm not really developing my own strategies right now. We are developing the new stock trading strategies as a team, and we are developing our new platform Algo Cloud exactly for this, to be able to trade this kind of trading strategies.
Now that you mentioned Algo Cloud, let's get into it. What is Algo Cloud? What's the difference between Algo Cloud and StrategyQuant X?
Okay, Algo Cloud is our new cloud trading platform, something to trade our new class of strategies that was introduced in the latest StrategyQuant version for stocks. for now, it is only for stocks trading and for stock picking engine and single stock strategies that we can develop using StrategyQuant. So this is a platform where you can easily upload or even create in the Algo Cloud, create a strategy using a built-in editor, and then just deploy it, connect it to your broker, and trade it.
So currently, the strategies built using the builder in StrategyQuant X can be ported to Algo Cloud to be traded on autopilot, basically on VPS, which is you're running. I noticed that the custom blocks is not there yet, so I'm assuming this is
this is coming in the future. And as I said, Algo Cloud is for stocks, for equities only for now. This is the beginning.
The advantage, of course, is like we mentioned earlier, is that there is no interpretation between two engines and two data. It is your data, your engine. So there is no mismatch between the results of StrategyQuant X and Algo Cloud. They should.
Yes, this is one of the biggest advantages. And another thing is, I would like to point out that without Algo Cloud, there simply is not a simple way to trade this kind of strategies. I'm talking about the stock picking type of strategies, because we internally as a team were trading this kind of strategies, not just myself, but also my colleagues. And it is very difficult. We have to use Python scripts, complicated setups, own VPS, and so on. And it was very error prone and problematic. So without Algo Cloud, there wasn't a simple way of trading this kind of strategies. And this is why generally we created Algo Cloud, to be able to trade this kind of strategies with.
Basically, for the users who don't know this, you can rank thousands of stocks and on a criteria, and then you apply your logic to the top ranking stocks. And this is not available in retail. And if it is, it's on back testing only. Nothing like what you're offering right now. I'm really excited about this, not because I'm interviewing you, but really this is also very exciting news for me. But the only thing missing for me is futures. So is futures coming to this platform?
Well, my idea is that in the future, this will be a full-featured trading platform. So it will trade futures, Forex, crypto even. But we have to start with something. It is really a lot of work to implement stocks. So we already almost finished with the stocks, and we'll see where we'll go from here, because there are many ways where this project, where this platform can go, and it will depend also on what our users would want. So if we'll have enough people interested in futures, we'll add futures next. If it is Forex or crypto or something else, or another stock engine, it would be this. So we'll see. The goal is,
Futures. I
as
will
you
make
said,
sure that everybody wants
You will vote for futures, right?
Okay. Yes.
I think really the advantage, of course, stocks, don't get me wrong, it's a different asset, and it's extremely liquid. You can sink a lot of money into it. But really, for me, futures, although it's difficult to implement, I can understand you have expiry, different expiries, and different session times, and so on. But the diversification they offer you is huge, and more and more markets, futures market coming in. But I understand it could be maybe the second step after stocks. And of course, I don't trade Forex, but I'm sure Forex will be there because they are the easiest, I guess.
well, yeah, probably second easiest after stocks.
Do you want to share anything else for Algo Cloud? What's your partner? Do you plan to be your own broker? I know you're partnering with Alpaca to trade to interactive brokers, correct?
We are Alpaca. This was the very first partner we addressed, and then we also connected to interactive brokers, as you say. And yeah, well, there are more to come. Still, even we are in, let's say, development phase. And I'm also seeing a lot of requests from our, let's say, partner brokerages who wants to, chat about that, whether they can be involved in this. So let's see how it goes. But I think, Ali, maybe the thing I want to add is in regards to, let's say, Algo Cloud to compared to StrategyQuant. I mean, this is something we were, let's say, missing. I mean, the execution part, it was the only missing piece in the puzzle. So basically, we wanted to fix this with Algo Cloud, and I think I'm really looking forward to get it started, because as Mara said, this is something that basically we have everything under one roof. We have strategies creation, development, we have optimization, and let's say backtesting included in StrategyQuant, and now the missing piece is the execution, where we can seamlessly connect the strategies to Algo Cloud and either use the strategies generated in StrategyQuant, or, and which is also my favorite part of this, we can let users just decide what strategies, the stock picking strategies for now they can select from the pre-selected, let's say, template, and get started. So as you can imagine, I mean, you are a pro, right? But think about the newbies, the new traders who are who see StrategyQuant for the very first time. They are puzzled. It's very complex tool. They need to learn a lot. They need to get as much information as they can in order to even master it, to deal with it. And now they go to Algo Cloud, they just log in, and they can easily just press the button and connect with their brokerage account, and they're good to go.
I think users today don't know how good they have it, because of course I'm a StrategyQuant X user. It is frustrating, like all software. People don't understand. They think there is a perfect software. There is no such thing. It's just like you said, it's impossible to please everybody. But I think the step you took now, this is a huge step that people don't appreciate the value, because you took all the complications away, running a VPS, making sure your software is always up to date in the cloud, alerts, reporting, and then just taking the same strategy that you built, not worrying about where it's going to execute, broker side, and all. There are so many things in execution. This is now not development. Even if you develop the best strategy, you still have a bunch of headaches just to execute that strategy correctly every time. So, of course, I understand this. Most professional, not professional, even most, let's say, experienced users knows this. But for newbies, just like you say, yeah, this is huge. This is huge for everybody, because you're taking a lot of headache out of it. And I mentioned this many times. I'm really looking forward to start this. And I think I'm receiving now emails from Algo Cloud. That just means that it's running now, because I've been receiving this for a couple of weeks now. So I'm assuming you are running now, correct?
It is running still in a beta version. We are testing and finishing the last things there.
When do you think you will launch, let's say, with real trading for maybe a small subset of users? Do you think you'll do this soon?
Well, yes, we are recording this in April, so our plan is to have a public beta version, beta testing next month, so which means May, and depending on how well it will go and what it will show us, we might start having a real public launch month after that, or 2 months after that, depending really on what we'll find.
I think you are on version, last I downloaded, I think 137 RC1. Is that the one that's going to take those strategies to Algo Cloud?
Uh, Actually, we released RC2 just today, but I'm not sure what do you mean. Do you mean that if
Yeah, so I mean, you can use 137 to export the strategies to Algo Cloud?
Yeah, you can do it. You can. You don't need to export it. You just take the SQX file of the strategy, and then you can import or upload it to Algo Cloud, and it would run there.
StrategyQuant X is a data mining package. You can use it to build your own strategies on autopilot using your own instructions, or literally you can build strategies manually using a graphical interface. You can download a free, fully functional versions that work for 14 days. And if you decide to buy it, you can use my coupon StatOasis to get 23% off their published price. You have two versions, last time I saw, for the stock engine. One is for single stock and one for ranking multiple stocks. Why the difference between these two? Is it like something in the structure, or?
Yeah, they are quite different because Kornel will probably explain it better later. But we started with the StockPicker engine, which is an engine that trades group of stocks like S&P 500, all 500 stocks in the index, and it does it as you briefly mentioned it by ranking all the stocks and applying the criteria and choosing the top X stocks to trade at the given day. And the other approach is a single stock approach where you trade just one single stock. And it is very similar to trading Forex or futures, just one asset with a momentum strategy or breakout strategy or whatever. So those are quite different approaches, and each of them has its own advantages and disadvantages.
Probably everyone knows those strategies for S&P 500 or ETF SPY, where you, for example, buy when the market drops and they sell when it goes back. And simply there are quite many simple concepts in market, or some seasonality, Santa Claus rally, etc. And simply we needed some tool which can trade them, but obviously we are ranking. So the template, let's say the template or structure of the strategy is slightly different. Therefore we call it or name it like single stock strategy. It can be also single ETF strategy or CDF, for example, now for this XTB broker. And then there is this part of this stock picking where you have the ranking, and then basically you cannot get out from this structure. There will be always ranking, and there you will always trade like the group of stocks.
What will happen if you have two strategies trading the same instrument? Like, is that possible to want to go long and one short, or both long? Will the engine deal with that?
Sure. Yeah, we have I will maybe not answer all those like exact how it goes, the process, but basically we simulate all those situations like long, short, both the same symbol, and other. There are more situations, and basically we have some rules. For example, the simple rule: if the ranking will be always one, which might happen, the indicator will return always one, so the ranking is off, then the strategy will be ranked based on the name of the stock. So it will work. And so as we are developing this project for probably for 2 years right now. So yeah, we are thinking about those strategies, about those situations, because there are like many of them, and this is also great about this project. And I also created ebook for users, and they simply don't need to care about this.
So if you have one strategy going long, one going short, will that be?
Yeah, the stocks are not like Forex, where you can have a open position to long and short at the same time. So we have to obey how brokers really work with stocks. So as you said, we can have if there is strategy that trades one stock and another strategy that trades the same stock, if they go long, both of them at the same time, then just two positions of the stocks will be opened. If one goes long and the other goes short, then the first one is opened, the other one is ignored. This is one of the beauties of the stock picking approach, that when you have to skip one of the symbols because of this, because the stock is taken by another strategy, you have still maybe another few symbols, another few stocks that you can trade.
So yeah, you can always fill the slots. You're not depending on a single symbol. Do you think at one point you will? I know probably this is a company secret, but do you think you will be your own broker, something like TradeStation, where you are the platform, the engine, the execution?
Well, we don't have any plans for becoming a broker for now, but who knows what will happen in the future.
Who knows? Nobody knows.
Well, Ali, exactly as Mara said, basically there are many paths we can follow. So brokerage is one of them, but honestly, it's not something we are dealing with right now. Honestly, with Algo Cloud, we would love to connect as many brokerages as we can to our Algo Cloud solution. And so that would, as we said, assure that basically anyone can use Algo Cloud to execute their trades properly on their trading accounts with their favorite brokerage. And yeah, obviously the more brokers we connect, the more customers we can get from all around the world. And yeah, this is the path we are following in, let's say, the short term. Who knows what's going to happen in long term?
No, usually the problem with users is you need to figure out the API and the connection. And since you are doing that part for users, it should be very easy. I'll pick my best broker and it's connected. I don't need to worry about the technical part of it. One of the drawbacks of doing everything algorithmically is we don't care as much about charting, but it is still an important part. Do you think it's possible, or sometimes in the future you have it in your plans to connect to a charting platform like something like TradingView through an API, or give that option to users, or is that not on the road plan?
Well, we already have some basic charting in both StrategyQuant and Algo Cloud, where you can see trades on chart in StrategyQuant, including all the indicators and the values that are used when evaluating the rules on every bar. So this is already there, and we'll see if the users will want it. I don't see why we shouldn't add it, but for now, I don't really. well, if you see, I mean, okay, you can persuade me, but if you see the trades on charts as you see them on StrategyQuant, I don't know. Do you need another trading view or some other account to see them?
As a developer of strategies, and I'm sure most users who develop strategies will attest to this, you need some confirmation that the strategy it's doing what it's supposed to do. So, for example, if you want to enter on, I don't know, let's say close plus ATR percentage, you want to know that yes, you are entering on that correctly, or maybe next day or at 10 a.m., whatever it is. And I guess the feedback, which is either charting or debugging the code, is the only two things you have. And since we are in Algo Wizard, the whole point is not to program. So I guess the only thing left is charting. And if it's an option, it's just like you're connecting to brokers. I think this will add a lot of value to SQX. I mean, I'm sure this is an internal decision inside your company.
There are two things. First, as you said, the charting and debugging. We are adding, or we already added, like debugging part of this for stock picking engine and for single stocks engine strategies into StrategyQuant and also into Algo Cloud. So you will be able to see daily on every bar what were the values for every symbol, and if the rules matched, what were the exact values of each indicator in the entry on an exit rule. So this would be something that you would be
I
able
saw
to
that. That's the log you're talking about, correct?
log, and there is also one configure which of the indicators you want to see, which of the values you want to see, and so that you are not overwhelmed with everything, but just to get what you see. And the other thing, the charting, I don't really see the importance of adding trading view, because as I said, there is a charting in StrategyQuant and it does exactly what you want it seems to me, because it shows you trades on the chart, it shows you bar for every day, and it shows you the indicators values. So you can find, if you want to verify that the strategy trades according to the rules, you can do it in our charting.
Basically, as Mark told, there is a log in stock picking where you see like day by day the open trade, close trade, and etc. But then recently we added the function where, for example, the strategy opens when 3 conditions are met, let's say, and we can log the state of every single condition for every single day. So this is what we can do now, that when you turn this option on, then in the special table you will see state of every single condition and see, like, as days are going, which conditions are met. So this is something we added recently, just exactly because this comes from developers, strategy developers, who is responsible for the engine, because simply when he tried to make it like the, let's say, bug free, he needed to some kind of debugging. So for his own purposes, he developed this log and this explorer functionality, and now it is possible to very detailedly. I think it comes with the new version of StrategyQuant. I think it was not in previous one. It comes with the new version, and it allows very detailedly to debug the state of every single condition and every other values you will put into this explorer or log.
So I want to jump now to Quant Analyzer, the neglected child, as I like to call it. Is Quant Analyzer getting more resources? I mean, I would love to see how we can have, let's say, the same back testing, the same retesting, the robustness testing of StrategyQuant X implemented in Quant Analyzer, so we can do it on a portfolio level. Do you have any plans for Quant Analyzer?
Well, yeah, it is connected to the fact that we have limited resources. We are a small company, still small company, many projects to develop. So we were focusing very hard on the StrategyQuant and the stock picking engine and the cloud platform. So we were kind of neglecting Quant Analyzer last year, but we want to keep on developing it. So I hope we'll get to it this year. And as for your question, not everything can be done in a Quant Analyzer, because some things can be done only when you really backtest the things, when you run backtest, and the Quant Analyzer doesn't run backtest, so it cannot just rerun the strategy with some different data or different setting. It can work only with the results produced by something else. Some things that are in Quant Analyzer, more advanced things like portfolio master and these kind of things, can be added to StrategyQuant.
That would be the best feature to add, instead of having a separate platform, which is Quant Analyzer. If you just add the portfolio part to SQX.
Yeah, we'll see. We are still deciding what will be some new major features for the next build of StrategyQuant, or next 2 builds. So we plan to discuss with the users, and if this is something that it would be very important for a lot of them, then we can do it.
Just small addition, we are also planning to add more portfolio functions into Algo Cloud, because right now there is like this part for strategy development, there is part for running the strategies, and let's say we have quite good strategies already, but obviously there is some work remaining in putting those strategies together, and obviously that could not be quite easy task, as you have some dedicated capital and some strategies, they're running together or separately, like involve your capital as the best way possible. So this is like remaining step we need to implement, and we need to, from the beginning, we'll just implement some kind of simple portfolio simulator, but later, as we have control over everything, then we can implement some more advanced portfolio, let's say, managing functions. For example, we can involve like the volatility of the strategy, or if the strategy will work well, then we will put more weight for it, or more capital. And if the strategy don't perform very well, we can put like the position size down. It's very simple, but it works well. So now we have control over this, and this is something we are planning to add to Algo Cloud, as we have all tools we need. It's just this will be one of the future future task regarding the portfolio, but obviously it's just addition. The Quant Analyzer will be there also.
That's amazing, because what you said is exactly what I'm looking for, which is to rank strategies and allocate capital to the best strategies. Just like we're ranking stocks on certain criteria and we're investing in certain stocks, we can do the same thing to strategies. And again, just for users who are hearing this for the first time, this is not available on retail packages anywhere, and not even offline. I mean, you cannot do this right now. You need to build your own Python code.
Yeah.
And at least that's what I'm doing. So it's great to hear that you have this in your future plans. So SQX uses some kind of machine learning, I guess, to come up with the best strategy to fit those criterias. And we can say machine learning is some kind of AI. And of course, AI since last November just came out of nowhere, and just it's everywhere. You cannot get away from it. Do you think that maybe in a couple of years, you have 100,000 users building strategies, so the data you will have is so much that you can maybe even use AI to build better strategies in your software? That's one. And question two, do you think we will need something like SQX in 5-10 years, or we will all just be sitting and ordering our AI to build strategies and leave it?
It is very hard to. It is very hard to somehow guess what will happen in the future. One thing about this is that even though we have a lot of users and so on, if we have a lot of users, it would be not that simple to share their data because of privacy and ownership. I don't think that many users would agree to sharing their strategies with some data engine in order to improve strategies of somebody else. So I'm not sure if it could be used like this.
What about, do you think AI in 5 years, it will have enough data from the market, enough power, computer power, that it can, I don't know, easily come up with strategies and test their robustness without you, it's basically SQX on steroids? Do you think that will happen, or do you think your company SQX will have that built in at some point? I mean, I know this is all future things, but what's your opinion?
Well, my estimation is that it would not be like this, that those large language models are not really suited for this kind of things, that it would be probably used for improving the strategies, probably for easily translating strategies from one language to another, maybe adding some smaller things to the strategy, but not to research and develop new strategies. But we'll see. I might be wrong about this. We are all watching the AI, and I'm always thinking how to use it in trading. But for now, I think there isn't really an application of the new AI models directly to trading, and we also don't see something in this area for now.
If I may add, well, Ali, to your first question regarding the use of the data, I think it's a very tough question. I mean, we would definitely need to take AI into account, but there might be some issues with privacy and ownership, like Maro said, and I completely agree with that. So I think that instead of relying just on AI in terms of overall strategy creation or development, I'm more thinking of AI implementation in the form, for example, for seasonality, models or earnings models, or using AI basically as a filter for some fundamental news and so on. So basically, I think it might be actually an excellent add-on to Algo Cloud, to use the AI models, to filter various things, and in regards to your second question, to whether we would become obsolete, well, I think nobody knows. Let's get a crystal ball, right? but for sure, I'm confident that AI will play a far more dominant role in our lives and everyday activities, trading, investing included, of course. And for sure, this is something we will need to face, to deal with. And as we mentioned before, I think we see a great use of AI in regards to some, I would say, improvements of data models, as you suggested, or macroeconomic news, or fundamentals, or basically evaluation of corresponding market behavior before or afterwards, once there is some fundamentals announced. So let's see. But also, I expect the translation, as Maro said, of coding languages from one to another, that it's going to be a matter of a few seconds or a second. So it might, I think, facilitate a lot of things for us as algo traders, So, but, from a broader perspective, obviously, with or without AI, I'm talking in general, right? The goal of trading or investments is always the same, to make money, right? So I'm really confident that the main principle will be the same, whether AI or not. So this is. I'm also very positive that we will not be hopefully replaced by AI, but for us it will be more like a benefit. I mean, we will benefit from AI rather than going to be replaced by AI, right? So all in all, it's gonna be very challenging task, not only for traders and investors, but I think for humans in general. So let's see how it turns out.
I think it's just another tool, and you will still need at the end a human behind that tool to instruct it, direct it, develop it. But definitely, it will make a lot of things easier for us. And I've seen 10 years ago, I had the chance to see this in practice in a hedge fund, but there are still two people behind it directing this AI what to do. I mean, the only difference, it was doing it, once they told the AI what to do, it was doing it 100 times faster, no emotions, and the advantages that comes with it. So I agree with you. It's a tool, and hopefully we will be alive in 10 years to get back to this. I think you are really doing a wonderful job with StrategyQuant X. I know there are a lot of frustrations. I have a lot of frustration with StrategyQuant X, but having developed a software before, I know how difficult the job is, and it's people don't understand. It's not about money and resources. I mean, yes, it's an important part, but really managing all these pieces and bringing them together, it's not an easy task. And I mean, we can look at Apple, a $2 trillion company, and they have bugs in their software. So you can imagine it's not easy. But I like the courage that you have, that you are forging in this path alone. You'll be the leader in this, hopefully a successful leader that will benefit all of us traders globally. Who do you think your competition is, or do you even think about them, or you just you have your blindfolds, forging straightforward, you don't care about what everything else is happening, or do you really look at what's happening in the space?
I think competition is a good for customers and not good for us as a company. It would be best for us if we have a monopoly on everything, but I'm a believer in free market, and competition is what drives quality up. So we have to deal with it, and we are aware of competitions. There are some companies that started just in the recent years, but I personally don't watch it that closely. I saw what each of them did when I somehow found out about them, but I'm not watching it closely, watching every feature they do. Every product on the market has some strong and weak points, depends on where he's going in which direction, because there are many directions that you can go. And I think StrategyQuant is way ahead in many important areas. There is nothing in the other products like strategy templates or custom project workflows. And we are not just software, but we have a whole educational ecosystem. So we don't just offer product, but we accompany it with the education. And now we are starting to add also the execution with the Algo Cloud platform. So I think we are developing in a direction where the others are not, and they might have some strong points in other parts, but nothing as we are the best.
I agree with
That's
that.
that's the right attitude to have.
Absolutely.
I have an analogy on my
Nail
YouTube
it.
channel. I used to look at other YouTube channels and think, oh man, they are producing crap, and they have more subscribers. And then I said, okay, forget everybody else, just focus on what you're doing. And I think that's the right attitude to have. You should think that you are the best and just go on your own path and forget everybody else. I mean, it's nice to look every now and then of what's happening in the market, but really your first step, I mean, everybody now is watching you about this step and how you will cope with the demand. And I think they will copy you because this is big. This is huge. I want to thank you very much for doing this. Really, this has been a great insight into the inner working of StrategyQuant X. I wish you the best of luck. I know there are competition, but as I always say, you are the best value for money because of what you said, because of all the things that comes with the SQX. And I hope to see you again. Maybe in 6 months, we'll see how Algo Cloud is doing.
Thank you so much, Ellie, for having us. It was a pleasure as always, and yeah, we'll be looking forward to repeat this interview, say in 6 months, as you suggested. So let's see then.
Great. For more interviews, watch this video, and I will see you there.